Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633 and today I'm bringing a review of the S.H.Figuarts Kiva-la. Now, this is actually my first female-related arts line, which includes Ultra Arts, Monster Arts, which I don't get, other Figuarts, D-Arts, and everything else. So this is actually the first female in any of those lines that I got, and I gotta admit this is a pretty good one, except for a couple little problems that I think only mine suffers from. But anyways, just looking at the box, you can see in the back there, it's definitely the more slimmed down design, which it seems like from now on they're going to be going to that design. And for the renewals, they're going to be going with the full enclosed box design. So I guess it kind of works, but I can see why some fans might get a little irked that all the older boxes do not match any of the new boxes of the recent age, so it's understandable. Anyways, we'll take a full look at the box now. Take Kiva-la off to the side. As you can see, it's much slimmer than a lot of the other boxes, but it does slightly retain the old style. As you can see, it's got the regular face, and this box isn't overall too fancy like some of the other ones like Drive and so on. It shows that it came from movie War 2010 and so on. It's marketed here. Shows a picture of Kiva-la there. And then on the back, that's pretty much it. She really doesn't do that much compared to other Figuarts, so anyways, we'll now be opening the box to take a good look at the contents inside. Now, Kiva-la is definitely not the master in the accessory department. She only contains 4 sets of hands, including the one that is attached to her originally. We have 2 sets of holding hands, 2 sets of chopping hands, and more of a somewhat more relaxed stance. And obviously it does come with their saber. So accessorized, she really doesn't come with much, though it does work for her since she really didn't do that much overall. Anyways, we'll now be looking at the figure. Anyways, while she wasn't the most important character in the entirety of the Kamen Rider lore, I still think her design is very cool, and I have to give props to Toei to making a really good suit, actually, especially for a female sculpt. And I think sometimes the female suits do much better at times than the male suits. I think they just do really good in designing them with a lot more fancy designs and so on. But anyways, we'll now take a look at the articulation. Now here is where it becomes a little bit problematic of mine. Her head is at a ball joint and a double ball joint due to the 2 points in the neck. So she does have a wider range of movement, but it gets kind of hindered by the back pieces there. Her shoulders are this weird kind of articulation where each of these little flap pieces are articulated, but there isn't a whole lot of movement you can do there, so it's a bit distracting. This causes a little bit hindrance in her shoulders, which are on the normal ball joints, but as you can see, it does hinder kind of due to the fact that these are not very pliable. She does have a full-on articulation in her bicep there. She does have double articulation in her elbow. She does ball-jointed hands, so that's good. She has a double joint in her waist, up her abdomen and the lower waist there. And unfortunately, Kiva-la isn't another accessory, which would be cool to actually have, but it's understandable since that would just have another loose piece and so on that could be easily lost. And the suit really did turn into this flat design when she transformed, so it's understandable why it's like that. She has these little flaps here, which kind of get in the way and are a bit annoying to play around with. And here's becomes the problem. Her hip articulation is a bit loose on mine, which especially this side, which causes some weight problems, and she does fall over at times. Doesn't really help that she has high heels as well. She can move her legs all the way around, even with these pieces there, so that is good. It's a little bit more pliable than her shoulder pieces there. She has a double joint in the knee, and she has ball-jointed ankles, and she also has a pivot in her foot, so that's really cool. She has a wide range of movement. We'll now take a look at the different hands attached to her in a moment. Anyways, now we'll try to put the sword in her hand, which actually does fit in pretty well with no major issues. We'll now slide it in here like a normal Figuart is normal. So, let's see, trying to get it in. Her hand really does have a tight fit on it, so you need to kind of play around with it in order to get into place. So anyways, we'll take this out since I actually mixed up the hands there. see where's okay, here it is. I'll just plug this hand back in. Now, plug this in. As you can see, it does fit in pretty well with no major issues. And I have to admit, this Figuart is a really nice Figuart, especially for the only female-related art figure that I own. I'm quite impressed with her, except for the fact of the loose joints in her hips, which can be problematic at times to keep her in poses. But other than that, I still think it's definitely a worthwhile Figuart. And I'm really impressed with what Bandai did for yet another female sculpt figure. Now, I got this from AmiAmi along with the rest of my order in September. And I really think it's a really nice Figuart, and I highly recommend picking this up for those who are maybe fans of Decade and or Kiva, since she is technically a Kiva-related writer, even if she didn't appear in that particular season. Anyways, please comment, rate, subscribe, and check out Hirotaku and the Gideon blog for all your latest in Kamen Rider news and more. Also, please check out me on Twitter under Darkon633. Please check down the other channels down below, including the WRW podcast and the various other channels that I've listed. I'll be back in the future to do more Figuarts reviews, and hopefully the next one will be a lot better condition than this one. Anyways, I'll be seeing you on YouTube. Bye.